go.
Okay, so it's been a while, so let's start off with a recap. So the party is currently in the city of Waterdeep. The the city has been a bit of unrest as the army that has slowly gathered over the past few weeks is now dispersing, heading north. If you would all look at your map here, so you gotta turn it over. Oh, I don't. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in on my screen. I don't know if you can see that, but basically, the army is departing from Waterdeep here and is marching north towards Neverwinter. They expect resistance, especially in the Sword Mountains, from what you've heard via rumors, but the capital city of the northern province is Neverwinter. The entire city is echoing with the sounds of soldiers and rhythmic footsteps right now. They are singing their creed, uh, and you can feel with the thousands of men and women marching out vibrations within your chest from all of this. You guys have just gotten back from a trip to the Anarok Desert. You all were hired by the White Spire uh, to investigate this place. You all remember what that city was called? Pop quiz.
Uh, Try the desert. I know everything else about it. I don't think we ever had to use its name.
Uh, it was the Anarok Desert.
Yeah,
The city was Asarak.
Asterisk. Okay.
While you guys were originally hired by Maze of the White
Mm-hmm.
Spire to escort them into the city to retrieve lost knowledge.
I think
Uh,
he regrets hiring us.
they might.
Probably.
Uh, Tomes and such were collected in the very depths of the city, but a blue dragon, adult sized, came in and took the most valuable thing of all, a speaking Mythalar. That dragon, after taking off in the direction of Ereska, has since disappeared. According to your experts, that was not any dragon they had seen before.
Hmm.
You briefly encountered a quirky fellow that teleported you most of the way home to named Anson, who's running some kind of weird academy with a lot of experiments going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was mixed feelings about what to if they should get interacted with these experiments or not.
Yep.
Yep.
But we did not, and that was a good choice because that would have been poorly for us.
And as you all continued on, uh, going even further back, I mean, it all depends on how far back we want to go, really, for this recap. After you guys came back, you ran into this new person named Oliver. They haven't described much about themselves, but they seem to be following you at this point.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, we're kind of lost. We don't know where the Mythalar went. The dragon. I assume that should be what we should be looking for.
It's okay. We
It,
don't need to worry about them. Let's go do something else.
weren't we supposed to meet someone somewhere today, Logan? If I remember.
So Maze.
appointment to meet someone.
I don't remember if you had an appointment, but Maze is currently in the White Spire, and said they're going to be looking over all the stuff that they found.
Yeah, we're supposed to get some of that.
So you guys were paid money, and they said that when it came to artifacts and the like, you guys would get the stuff that was deemed not valuable historically after a period of review.
How much you want to bet that they'll think everything's valuable and we'll get nothing?
The Hollywood way of doing things. I'm still. I thought we're supposed to meet someone somewhere.
Do you have a name?
It's. I'm thinking. Why do I remember this? But I.
Do you remember what you were going to do when you met this person?
I'll scroll back and read. I remember. No shame. It's been a.
I don't know. I think those wizards are a bunch of thieves.
It was right before. Yeah, Katya was worried about getting drafted in the military. A big war was about to happen.
Yep.
I'm no longer tuned to the longsword, thank God.
Oh, right.
Quick banished it.
So Katya is now holding the sword and puts it into her scabbard.
I remember you said Click tried to banish the sword.
And
did it work?
Nothing appeared to happen to the sword, but
okay, and that's where we ended on a cliffhanger.
Yep. Yeah.
Click tried to banish it. I told him to chuck it.
And he tried to chuck it as hard as he could into a different dimension.
Yeah. So war is about to break out over the murder of this one guy. There's the one guy got murdered. War is about to break out, and then we spent a long time trying to talk to Katya, who now apparently wants to go to war.
It's not so much that Katya wants to go to war; it's afraid that she'll be called up as reserves.
And I told her to disappear.
And she did.
They can't find you.
She did not like that idea because she likes the idea of returning to her house.
Do that after the war's done.
You're not super familiar with Waterdeep law. You might get in trouble for being intentionally AWOL.
So does Click have any tools for locating an object like the giant Mythalar that was taken?
He does. He has several.
Can you try and find it for us and tell us where it went to?
I don't have a sheet.
No.
It's basically you three right now. Whatever you guys can do by yourself. We will say that
Paladin.
Katya and Click have wandered off somewhere.
Oh.
Well,
you guys want to do?
Following us?
Huh?
How come the new guy is following us?
For adventure.
Well, yeah.
I'm bored.
You'd probably want to be following the other group.
Why?
Well, because we've got a short green guy and a guy with that's hooded and dark and mysterious, and there you have a Birdman and a paladin.
To me, there's no difference.
Instead, you're stuck with the kobold.
Oh, the familiar? Sorry. I'll drop that.
I don't know. He used to ride the paladin around.
But I
You're
do.
somebody who walk around in a flammable cake for saying such words.
What did happen with the cliffhanger? It was like, um, he tried to banish into another dimension.
Yeah, the cursed sword
Right.
Yeah, and then
did not apparently.
yeah,
The sword did not disappear. Katia the paladin was like, oh, okay. Quickly put it in their scabbard, and then her and Click walked off.
walked off. Well, should we? I don't know. What should we do? We got a bunch of soldiers heading north. Now, remind me, was there a reason why we were tempted to follow them to see what was going on?
Follow who?
Soldiers?
The soldiers.
I most totally do not want to follow soldiers.
No, you can just hear the slightly muted, but still like that bassy tone is passing through the city, so you can feel what they're singing, but you can't quite understand what they're singing.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to war because Neverwinter's in rebellion because they believe their guy was falsely imprisoned for murder.
Oh,
Yeah. Weird reason to go to war. Sounds like a made up pretext to me. Pretty flimsy pretext. Like, I think he just wanted to go to war and this was the excuse, but
I mean,
Alright.
one guy getting assassinated isn't a reason to go to war, is it?
I mean, not really. And yeah, it's been pretext for
Tell the World War One.
Yeah, and that was pretext.
Yeah.
They just kind of wanted to go to war. That was
Well,
just the excuse. Not really the reason, just the excuse.
trust me, I have been there, and these nobles, they all think they're much more important than they really are, and they take any opportunity to get revenge or take slight or whatever it is that they do.
Oh, great.
It's all rather silly.
Now our fool of a paladin wants to get involved in that.
Again, it's not that she wants to get involved, it's she's afraid they might get her involved.
I've given her multiple ways to not get involved, and she refuses to take them. Therefore, she wants to get involved.
Now, why does she think that she's going to get conscripted?
She, well, maybe one of your new people can fill you in on that.
Served in the military.
Right. I mean, she served in the military, but which military?
I don't know. Never really important.
Do we know who these soldiers are made up of?
So, as a noble, you rolled pretty high on your history check, so you would know this pretty well. Waterdeep itself was originally like 5 provinces, which were kingdoms unto themselves originally. Roughly a few thousand years ago. You forget the exact details, but they came together as a loose confederacy of kingdoms all together under one. So, because they understood that, streamlined trade, armies that could support each other, varied resources, and all the like would, make themselves a stronger kingdom. And
Right.
there's still cultures unto themselves. For example, the people in this area tend to be humans and dwarves, focusing on mining of ores and such like that, with their own cultures built around the dwarves who were the first settlers there, with their bits of architecture and such. Whereas there are more halflings down in this area, than pretty much anywhere else. And this area tends to be marshy swamplands, and they have their own cultures associated with that. Now, this area down here, these people with rolling plains and such, they are the primary agricultural center of the Waterdeep Kingdom, known for raising horses and other form of livestock. This is where you would get your cavalry and such. You see this red line here. Approximately 30 or so years ago, this lower kingdom of Ammon tried to push for resources, and they got all the way up to Dragonspear Castle here before like the flow of battle was kind of stopped, and like that's as far as they advanced. But then eventually, with the support of all the northern kingdoms and rallying of troops, they were pushed them back to the original border. So, all in all, it's like Waterdeep has an army that's consisting of 5 different provinces, all supporting in different ways.
And our paladin, I assume it's the paladin?
Yes, the paladin.
I assume our paladin served in one of these or for one of these?
Yes, so the
Okay.
paladin, she would have to tell you this. There's this little town here called Daggerford. That is her hometown, and she joined the army in her 20s, was trained up in basically the main province here, and was stationed at Dragonspear Castle.
Okay. Well, now I understand why she's afraid.
Yeah, because she, you're going to have to learn all this. She has seen combat, and she doesn't like to talk about it. It's like she gets kind of weird when anybody mentions people getting left behind.
Even though we've killed things with her.
No, killing things she doesn't have a problem with. It's when
We've killed people with her.
when the subject of people getting left behind comes up, is when she gets weird.
Yeah, I can understand that. Word does that to people.
I, on the other hand, grew in the islands down below, so I'm not used to things like the desert and things like that.
Yeah.
That's how come I was not happy there.
No, I think only one person in the group was happy, and he was an NPC.
Yeah. He liked to bury himself in the sand.
Yeah.
Now, the little I've picked up, I've understood that you're not a really big fan of chasing dragons.
Dragons are bad.
Lies.
Well, of course they're bad, but I
They
mean,
kill everything.
Lies.
do you have prior experience with a dragon?
Dragons are bad.
Slander.
All dragons?
Well, yeah.
What about dragon kind?
I've never really met dragonkind. The closest thing that I've really seen with dragon is our little green friend here.
Didn't we meet a half dragon at one point?
You've ran into several dragonborn. There's
Yeah.
also been wyverns. That's what Lou took off with.
So we met half dragons.
Yeah, but that's half.
Dragonborn.
Well, Dragonborn are technically different than half dragons. Half half dragons are, in fact, the descendants of actual dragons. Dragonborn are a different subspecies that were originally created by dragons to be in servitude.
Wait, I thought we were made to be in servitude.
Yep.
Well, fortunately, there are no dragons flying in the sky today.
Exactly.
That's what you think.
Perception check.
For who?
16.
Oh God, 6.
I guess you want it from all of us.
Like I said, I see nothing.
All right, so I heard a 6. What else did we get?
16.
21.
16 and a 21.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Fly down.
So Oliver does not look up. Levi instinctually looks towards the sky as there was a shadow that passed overhead. Meepo sees a large bird that caused the shadow.
People thinks nothing of this. It is a bird.
It's a cloud.
It's
Just a
Superman.
puff of cloud.
Well. Yeah. No dragons. Unfortunately. Which is why we're trying to find the dragon.
We are not trying to find a dragon.
Well, then what are we gonna do? Just stay here all Saturday,
Find a
hanging
dragon.
around the street corner?
You gotta find the dragon that took the giant Mythalar.
Some of us don't care.
That was a big Mythalar. I mean, that could be like world-ending things.
So I've heard you guys mention this Mythalar.
Magic stones.
Magic stones. Ah, okay.
Basically. Magic rocks.
Yeah, we mentioned this last time. Mythalar are these basically artifacts, not that level of strength as far as you're aware of, Oliver, but you can use them to increase your magical strength. Some people can use them for casting minor spells. If they're large enough, they can be used to maintain concentration on things and stuff like that. But they are incredibly rare. You
Yep.
maybe
I've heard of these now. Yep.
yeah. It's like, considering where you came from, you have maybe seen one in your life.
I
Maybe.
understand. In the White Tower, don't they have? They have one in the White Tower, yeah.
As far as you know, that they have several.
Now, if I was a different persuasion, I'd say, well, if you want one, we know where we could go get one.
Say,
hey, Levi, what do you think?
Art, to be honest,
Dragon or White Tower?
White Tower.
I mean, dragon would be nice. What are they? Oh, jeez. Loud beep.
Yes, Levi.
Gosh, we need some way of locating the giant Mythalar. Seems to be the most pressing concern, unless you want to get involved in a civil war. Anyone up for a little game of civil war?
Why don't we go south?
Why?
Because it's away from the war.
Well, what's south?
My home.
Well, Worcester's a problems.
Do we
Problems
do?
need solving. Solving it is adventure and a little bit of coin.
Yeah, but so is not dying.
Never knew you were. I know didn't like dragons, but I didn't know you were this much of a coward.
Well, there's a difference between going off in the woods and looking for treasure and going to war.
We don't really have a reason to go to war, so not our war.
Exactly. It's not our war. So why
Let's
would
go
we
find.
go towards
So
it?
let's go find the dragon.
No,
Yeah, why not?
because we don't want that either. Both, either war or dragon, lead to death.
I want that
Death?
dragon.
Sounded like you were saying you wanted death.
No, I want dragon.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Honestly, you kind of need the rest of the party, so
That's true. We can't just like take off and leave them, without telling them where we're going.
They will find you.
We will leave
Uh,
a scent trail.
Don't
Yeah,
really
we
know
will.
how to find this, and we kind of need someone's help to find the Mythalar. So I think either Click, our cleric, would be our best bet. If not, then the White Spire. One of those two would help us find it. Would be the best, at least, to help us find it. Ugh, yawn.
I think they'd get a clue if we came in armed or not wearing robes.
What do you mean you get a clue? They know who we are.
Do they? They don't know
Yeah.
me. I don't know them.
No. They seem accommodating enough.
I thought they were a closed club.
Don't seem to be. I mean, they hired us.
Well, I've been hired to mow lawns. Didn't mean they invited me in for lemonade.
Yeah, been in there before. I'm sure they'll let us in.
I've never heard
That's
that one before.
I
No,
just made it up on the fly.
Okay.
Well, do we have any news from the South?
You can talk to people. As of now, you guys have just gotten in from your trip, so pretty much all the rumors you've heard about are the soldiers heading north. I would need a general charisma check to see what information you could gather.
Are you charismatic, Oliver?
Natural 20.
Nice. So, Oliver, using your sleuthing skills, what you know about what's going on in the South is that it's a relatively peaceful time. There are several people talking about the concern of war bringing turmoil into their lives. A lot of them are not going to. A lot of people would consider relocating as refugees if it got that bad, but as of now, they're going to stay where they are, and there's a bit of optimism that the war will be over quickly, considering it's basically 4-on-1. There are some people that 100% believe that GM Somerset was guilty. The fact that they found articles of his clothing with Counselor Overhill's body, and rumor on the street they never liked each other to begin with. Some people full-heartedly believe that. Other people say, in rumor that GM Somerset was kind of a sleazeball, but not the kind of that would kill somebody. In some of the darker parts of this town, you know that there are some houses of ill repute that, again, rumors he may have been frequenting, possibly even on the night of the murder.
Well, I guess okay. So based on that I have now relayed to the group,
Hmm.
do we have it? What do you guys think?
Sounds a lot of drama.
A lot of drama that doesn't seem to involve us, at least not
Agreed.
directly, unless somebody hired us.
Which is why we find the dragon.
What does the dragon have to do with this? Just, I'm
Technically-
curious.
Technically, we were the one who gave it the giant Mythalar. By
Who
we,
did?
I mean me.
Oh,
Kind of in a ultimatum negotiation kind of way.
Give it or you die kind of thing.
so is it you want to reacquire it for yourself, or do you owe it to some crime lord and he's gonna cap your knees if you don't return it for him? Or
No, we just found it in a tomb.
so it's finders keepers, and the dragon took it
Yeah, basically.
from you.
Yeah.
So it's the principle of the thing.
I mean, it's a giant dragon with the giant, super powerful, magical rock that's bigger than anything any Mythalar we've ever seen.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
So do you have any magical talents, or is this something you're looking to sell?
No talents at all. No. Did you fetch a pretty penny though?
How about you, Levi? What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Well, up until I
Complain.
met this group, I haven't done anything. I just lived on my island with my mom, and so I just decided to go out.
Just to see the world?
Well, at first there was a creature that gave me a sword and was kind of guiding me, but then things changed, and I'm still here.
Is your mom a good cook?
One of the best.
Well, I guess we could take.
I
We
mean,
could,
if you want shrimp and crab, we get them off the island, and we just go pick them up and bring them ashore and cook them up. And
Well, I figure it's probably a 2-week walk. We might find something fun to do along the way.
It'd be more than 2 weeks.
I don't know. I'm
The
pretty spry.
the hard part would be once you get past Dragonspear Castle. There's this one place of extremely large battlefield that's called the Fields of the Dead that occasionally dead tend to come back there.
I kind
This
of
is-
went my way around that along the road going
Yeah.
up here.
Well,
So
I didn't think we'd be cutting directly through the forest. I assumed the road was going to be,
yeah, the road leads around it if you want to get there faster distance wise. Or you could always take a ship.
I don't know. I like the water, but I've had some. Yeah.
Well, you realize that to get to my island home, you have to go on a boat, unless you can
Unless you
walk on
fly.
water
Or fly.
or fly. But I do not see any wings like Clicks on this stranger.
Click and carry him.
Well, where would we pick up a boat? I mean, I would assume that anything out of Waterdeep right now is probably being what's the word I'm looking for? Basically taken over by the military. They've conscripted it, I guess you could say.
Well, it's more of like Waterdeep was their rally point. You had people coming from all around, whether it be some took ships, some took ships to land here, or you had people taking the main roads from here and there, and like some people followed the rivers from the swamp areas and stuff like that. Point is, this has been a month or two of forces basically rallying here so that way they could then march on the road towards Neverwinter.
Okay, so I had not heard any scuttlebutt about a siege from the water.
No, there's it seems like right now it's mostly going to be a show of force with land troops.
Okay.
There can, of course, be a navy that would come in too, but the navy is currently spread out along the coast.
Blockade. That was the word I was trying to think of. Blockade.
Yeah.
Well, I am not. I'm just along for the ride. I found you guys. You seem like a fun group that likes to get in trouble, or at least trouble finds you. And I'm bored into a little adventure. So we've talked. We've talked to a bunch of people. We heard what's going on. And do either of you guys know how to get where we're going if we're going in that direction?
We take the road south.
We'll go wherever. I mean, at least we'll go somewhere in this bar. But I still say,
Well, how? Just out of curiosity, how would we follow a dragon? Do you even know where this dragon resides?
well, I believe when Click located it, it was not on this plane of existence anymore.
Could not find it.
On this plane of existence,
Right.
Yeah.
God specifically said, "I cannot find the dragon on this
So
plane of existence."
either it went to another plane, or it's hiding really, really well that God cannot find it.
And I'm just staring at him and like, and you were trying to sell us on going after dragon when we don't even know if it's in another dimension or not.
We gotta find it.
Exactly.
That was the whole point. We gotta find it.
But how? If our cleric's God can't find it,
On
who do
this
you expect who
existence,
can
I
find it?
assume they can find things on other planes. We'll go ask the Spire.
Other planes.
Yeah, other planes. I mean, I'm sure there's things that can search better than our cleric. I mean, our cleric is, he is what he is, but he's not like uber mage here. He's not uber.
So are you talking about talking to a sage or actually being sent to another dimension?
Well, if we're going to go after it, I assume we would have to go to the other plane of existence at some point. But we need to first
that does
find
sound
it.
like an adventure.
I would recommend probably someone at the Spire could help us find it. They have a lot of mages. And I think they would greatly want to have this thing found. For a number of reasons.
So this is John asking, the Spire's in Waterdeep, correct?
Yes, there are several scattered all across the map currently in front of you.
Okay.
They would have talked about, they took at one of their satellite locations right here in Erveska to teleport them back and forth from Waterdeep. You also know that there is one location up here in the spine as well as location in Neverwinter. It's like they're located pretty much across the entire map except for the Moonshay Isles. They are controlled by the Giants, and the Giants have not allowed them to gain a foothold. Again, this is where your education comes in handy. You have a decent knowledge of politics. The Giants do not inherently trust the White Spire. They tend to be kind of isolationist as well as supremacists. Um, the White Spire wishes to have as many locations as possible, but it knows that it has to skirt that line of wanting to be advisors and in on the politics of the various kingdoms, but being neutral at the same point, because as far as you're aware, the Spire's main goal is just gaining knowledge. They don't care for war or anything like that.
Well, I see. I mean, it's not my decision, but I see no reason why we can't at least make an attempt to talk to one of the sages to see if they can find something. Doesn't mean we have to go, because this would be a group decision, I would assume.
Well, I guess if we must.
Okay, so it sounds like
You're like Arnold from the Magic School Bus.
Who, me or Ian?
Ian.
Oh, never saw that show.
Not again. Just be another normal field trip. This party? No way.
So it sounds like we're all in agreement to go to the White Spire.
Well, we need to try and see if we can get some of that treasure back too.
Like I said, you guys have been rewarded monetarily. It's just some of the historical artifacts, which, since it's been one day, would still be under review.
We were paid equivalent money value.
I don't care. They got other stuff of ours too.
Like what?
Anything. Anything.
They didn't get anything from me.
Like what?
Well, I don't even remember everything that we got.
You didn't keep the receipts?
Well, I think you're in a pickle.
I think most of it went in the bag of holding, along with that metal guy.
Sure, I need an itemized list.
Sinjak, it was in the portable hole.
Or portable hole. That's okay. Portable hole, bag of holding.
So, you guys approach the White Spire. As you are walking through the city and passing through its various districts, including its merchants, its old district, the residential and district, and all that kind of stuff. Well, Oliver, looking over, the thing that sticks out amongst the various buildings with their modern construction, you see a towering oak tree, roughly 300 feet in height. You know this to be the Concord of the Evergrowing. There are druids within the city that many thousands of years ago, when the founding member had helped save the city from a dragon attack, one of the rewards that the druid requested was a plot of land currently destroyed by the dragon attack for him to cultivate and raise in nature.
By the way, before we get to the spire, I want to slow down because I want to see Oliver getting into the spire first.
Okay. Now, describing the spire, as you approach it, you can see it from not too far off. It doesn't seem to be too tall of a building, maybe 3 or 4 stories tall. But as you approach, it seems to continuing to grow. goes up to 10 stories, maybe 20 stories by the time you finally reach the wrought iron gate that seems to encompass the round tower all the way around. Your new associates walk you around to the spire's gate, and across this small circular courtyard of cobblestone, you see a plain wooden door. There's no one outside, no one to stop you. It's just a plain wooden door on the side of the spire.
That's it.
Go ahead and let's go in. You first, Oliver.
Why do I feel like I'm being hazed? I go to the door and I knock.
You hear a knock. There's a loud echoing sound on the opposite side of the door. There are a few moments before the door swings outward as someone opens it. You see this white-haired man. His face is a bit too young to match his hair color. You would assume that he has gone white early. Can I help you?
Yeah, my friends here and I were hoping we could talk to somebody about interdimensional searching.
He gives you a weird look, but then he looks over to your other two associates. Oh yeah, Click and Katya are already inside. They're wait, if you're gonna look for interdimensional, we gotta take you to a different area.
Interplanar, I don't know, somewhere.
If you'll just follow me.
Okay.
All right. He leads you all inside. It's a circular room. It matches the outside. Along the walls are rows of couches that look to be made of a comfortable leather, where uh, based on the worn size, they look like they haven't been replaced in a long time. But you take this to be a sitting room. He leads you directly across the round tower to another door, and as he opens it up, it appears to lead you outside.
Interesting. Follow?
Okay. As you follow outside, he closes the door behind you, and looking around, the city is very similar to how you found it before, but everything is quiet. Please follow me. He
We
walks
follow.
he walks back around the tower to the door that you seem to have entered in the first time.
Okay.
As he opens up this one, it is no longer the room full of couches. Instead, it is a room with metal contraptions mounted to the wall in various places, as well as you see shards of crystal, some of them held in these metal apertures, others placed upon work tables. There seems to be a lot of tools made for cutting and shaping, and there's another door on the opposite side of the room.
Is he going towards that other door?
No, he has stopped in the center of this room.
Okay. I would say we're. Where are we?
Well, you wanted to look into this is our scrying room. If you wish to check in on someone, this is where the White Spire offers services in scrying.
We're looking for a dragon that took a massive Mythalar.
Oh yes, Maze has told us about your encounter.
I assume you have interest in finding it as well.
Yes.
So,
Well, there's a slight problem.
Go on.
Scrying does have its limitations. For one, you must the target can resist it, and so far we have been unsuccessful. Whether it be, it's like Maze is not powerful enough to cast his own scrying, not studied enough in it. So it takes one of our own mages to do it. And the problem is none of us met this dragon or even took eyes upon the Mythalar, so at best we have secondhand knowledge of this. And that makes it difficult to lock on to. We have found Emrith multiple times.
Does that make him a second-hand dragon?
Jeez.
Sure.
Who's Emrith?
Okay, so you are very knowledgeable of politics, but this is more of a history question. Emrith is an ancient blue dragon that lives in the Anarok Desert. Emrith pretty much is the reason why the Anarok Desert is neutral territory, because it's her territory and no one's going to say otherwise. And when I say neutral, I mean it's not claimed by a human kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gentlemen, I got you in the door.
Well,
You know the questions to ask.
I mean, Maze could tell you all. He was there with it. He knows as much as we do.
Maze is currently busy trying to get the mechanical automaton working again. And we've been talking with your associates. I believe it is Click with the necklace who wishes to travel to get it fixed to travel to a different plane.
Yeah, he wants to go back to his little airplane. Well, so the automaton would need Mythalar. Don't we have other Mythalar we had on hand?
I can't recall, if I'll be honest.
I thought we did. I don't know. Well, he had a Mythalar in him originally that kept him alive. He's just been in the bag because Wes isn't here. So, is there anything? Could you pull something from our memory to get a better lock on who this dragon is? Maybe.
Let's look.
Or can you lock onto the giant Mythalar it's carrying with it? That must be a hell of a magic signal.
That would be possible, but we do have limits to our range when it comes to finding items.
And God says it might not be on this plane, so could be a tricky one. Trying to think.
I mean, we can keep trying. It's just mechanics wise, the creature has to make a wisdom save, and having secondhand knowledge increases their save. So they've been trying. It's just they aren't succeeding.
Well, if we try enough times, I'm sure.
Eventually
he'll succeed.
Eventually he'll nat one.
Yeah, basically. Have you tried at least 20 times yet? Have you tried a couple dozen times? Eventually, he's gonna.
You know, there is another option where if the creature is on another plane of existence, uh, we could directly implore another being, perhaps a celestial or a sage. But that could be very dangerous. Potentially mind breaking.
Well, that would be bad. I don't want that to anyone break their mind. I suppose I could just keep trying and I could just give them the best I can, the secondhand knowledge we have. That's all we got, really, to go on. I can't think of anything else to help them.
Shame too, because
Other than the giant Mythalar's carrying.
bards, clerics, druids, warlocks, and wizards can cast this spell.
Not me.
Yeah.
Being a cleric.
Sorcerers could do it. Divine soul sorcerers could do it.
Only our cleric can do it.
What spell?
Scrying.
Oh, I don't have it.
So Levi, helping you out here. Can you cast 5th level spells as a sorcerer? What level sorcerer are you?
8.
Damn, you're one short, literally. So you can cast up to level 4.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Guess we'll have to come back.
Well, this is a bad place to end it, but it is 10 o'clock. I'm sorry for starting so late. I can't control the whims of children.
Booze.
No.
Booze. Yeah.
Booze.
No.
Alcoholic truffles.
No.
Yeah, good choice, but
Oh my god! Just real quick, off topic. We're kind of on topic. Did you guys see the